Thank you all so much for being here. I want to take a moment to remind all of us why we walk at Walk Like MADD. We walk to remember, we walk for those who no longer can and for those who are learning to walk again. We walk to inspire. We walk empowered even when we feel powerless, as survivors who have been victimized, and with purpose when we have lost our way. And we walk to commit. We walk with supporters who share our vision of no more victims. My name is Otte, and I'm the National President of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky, and this is my first time in Hawaii, so I'm so excited to be here with you all for the 10th annual Walk Like MADD. I'm grateful to play a small part in the Walk Like MADD Hawaii, and I want to say thank you to all the staff, sponsors, volunteers, and families who had a huge part in putting this amazing event together. Many of us are here today because we weren't given a choice. We're here because someone made the tragic decision to drink and drive, and we're left behind to live with the consequences. Thank you for your courage to be here and walk with us toward a future of no more victims. For those of you who have not been personally impacted by an impaired driving crash, thank you for choosing us. Your being here reminds us that the rest of the world still cares. And as someone who lives every second of every day with the consequences of someone else's choice, I can't thank you enough. At MADD, we so often say, and as part of the reason that we're here, that we walk for those who no longer can and for those who are learning to walk again. This hits very close to home for me. 12 years ago, I didn't know if I was ever going to walk again. On July 2nd of 2010, I was sitting on a jet ski behind my dad's house on a lake in Danville, Kentucky. My dad lives on the lake. I had been on the water for years, been on a jet ski for years. It was truly nothing out of the ordinary. I was sitting still across the narrow lake from my mom and brother, waiting for them to dock our boat so that I could dock the jet ski and we could go up to the house for the evening. There was a 17-foot bass boat coming under a nearby bridge, and when I saw him, I did what I had been trained to do. I gave my mom a thumbs up to let her know I saw him coming and I wasn't going to move. When you get your boating license, they teach you that if a boat's coming towards you, just stay where you are and don't try and anticipate where they're going to go and wait for them to pass. So I did. He was headed towards my mom and my brother. My mom screamed. The boat banked it to the left and never straightened up. The boat hit me from the side going over 60 miles per hour, threw me off the jet ski. I landed face down in the water. The boat went up over the jet ski and landed on top of my body before it sunk. I sustained a very severe traumatic brain injury classified as shaken baby syndrome, where my brain shook inside my head and started bleeding in 4 places and they couldn't make it stop. I shattered my jaw, so now have 3 metal plates and 12 screws in my face. Broke my neck, broke my collarbone, lacerated my liver, shattered both of my femurs because when I was thrown off the jet ski, I was holding on so tightly with my legs, I don't remember, but presumably because I was scared, that when I was thrown off, I took the handlebars with me. For those of you who have spent any time around a jet ski, you know it's all one piece, and that shouldn't have been possible. So I now have metal rods in place of bone in both of my thighs. When the boat landed on top of me, the propeller landed on both of my legs. My left leg was under the water just enough that it only required stitches, but my right leg was severed by the propeller. I spent 3.5 minutes face down in the water. I was 13 years old. The man who ran me over had multiple prior DUI offenses. 2.5 hours after the crash, his BAC was nearly 3 times the legal limit for driving. Months later, as I sat in a wheelchair in a courtroom, the man who changed my life forever denied any wrongdoing. I spent a week in a coma, and when I woke up, my dad had to tell me what happened and that I had lost my leg. But because of my traumatic brain injury, I couldn't remember. So this went on for several weeks. My dad sitting by the bed and waiting for me to wake up so that he could tell me again before I discovered it for myself. Only after about a month in the ICU, when I entered a rehab facility, did I fully realize that my leg was gone. Today, I call it my little leg. One of the most important goals of rehab is being able to stand on your remaining leg so that you can transfer to a bed or a wheelchair or chair, etc. But my legs were also broken, greatly compounding my recovery. For months, I cried every time I stood. I spent 3 months in a wheelchair. 3 months after the crash, despite doctors' doubts and my own debilitating fear of falling, I learned to walk again. Today, I'm classified as a K4+ amputee, which means that I'm as active as someone with 2 legs. But I don't take that for granted. People who lose one limb are 5 times more likely to lose another one. Pregnancy could take away my ability to walk, at least temporarily, and a fall could put me back in a wheelchair permanently. But today, I walk. I knew soon after the crash that I wanted to be the last little girl this would ever happen to, and I know 12 years later that I wasn't. But that's why I'm here today, and I know that's why so many of you are here today too, so that there are no more stories like ours. Thank you for being here. Thank you for turning your pain into purpose. I hope that today will be healing for you. There's a lot of amazing things that MADD does, but my favorite thing about a walk is not enough can be said about being around a group of people that truly get it. And I believe that's what today is. Let me leave you with this. Your loved one and your story will not be forgotten, not by you, by MADD, or by me. It is my true honor and privilege to get to know your loved ones through you and for us to walk together for a day when there will be no more stories like ours and truly no more victims. Thank you all so much for being here.